Imagine you're moving through life knowing deep down in your bones that you are loved, that you are beautiful, and that you are supported and pursued, and you're so powerful, that you no longer need to chase what was always meant for you. And imagine trusting in your own wisdom so freaking deeply that everything begins to move with ease to support it. Living in harmony with the rhythms of nature, creating from places like desire instead of pressure, that you're receiving without limits instead of this need to strive constantly, and remembering that the very things that you've been taught to dismiss or to hide about yourself, your beauty, your story, your softness, your intuition, and your feminine nature are not weaknesses. They are gifts. They are a vital part of a masterpiece that allows life for you to just flourish. Nature reminds us of this every day. The rose doesn't chase the bees, the blossom doesn't force itself to open up, the garden doesn't strive to become beautiful and seen as lovely. It simply becomes what it's created to be, and it simply just is. In doing so, it attracts everything that it needs. And 6 years ago, I didn't know any of this. I was completely lost, and I was searching for something that I truly just couldn't name in my life. I was disconnected from myself, from my feminine nature, from my source, and from a healthy community. And I think for a long time, I struggled with self-worth and relationships, definitely unhealthy patterns, addictions, control, burnout, and that constant feeling that I wasn't enough and that I needed to wear these masks to hide who I really was on the inside. I longed to really feel like secure, to feel chosen, to feel accepted, to feel truly seen and loved. I was searching for this feeling of wholeness and fulfillment everywhere outside of myself, like literally peeking over the fence and trying to find it all externally. Love, acceptance, security, you name it, belonging, purpose, the feeling that I was enough. I spent years trying to earn what I deeply longed to receive, trying to control these outcomes, trying to become someone worthy of being chosen, someone worthy of being loved as myself, as my true self, not with all the masks on. Don't get me wrong, I was wildly successful in society's terms. I did the schooling, I got the degrees, I got the dream jobs, the titles, the pay, the money, the relationships. But I ultimately felt this deep pain of unfulfillment. And I felt so, I guess, broken, and because I felt ungrateful. I felt like something was fundamentally wrong with me because of that. And so I kept riding these highs that never seemed to get me there, and it just kept leading me into these paths of destruction. And somewhere along the way, I began to answer this call to come home to a different story. I began reconnecting with myself, to source, to nature, and what even it meant to be in my feminine at all. To understand what it means to have a balance of feminine and masculine, and not just this striving and controlling life that the world tells us that success is, and for where fulfillment is and happiness is found is all in that. And I just began listening and connecting with the story written in creation itself. I saw it in the flowers, I saw it in the garden, I saw it when I was cooking with the season, in the way that a rose doesn't strive to be beautiful, in the way that a blossom so effortlessly draws in what it needs through a healthy soil to bloom in the way that it needs to, in the way that nature trusts the rhythms it was created for. And I slowly began to just realize that maybe I wasn't created to live in constant striving either, and maybe beauty was never meant to be earned, and maybe love was never meant to be chased. Maybe the things that I had been longing for most deeply had been pursuing me all along. And as I reconnected with my source and with nature and my garden and with healthy communities and with my own feminine heart, I've started remembering something I've forgotten, that I was already loved, I was already enough, I was already wealthy beyond my wildest dreams. And the more that I remember, the more that my life is starting to transform, the more that I'm stepping into who I'm being created to be and who I was always created to be, not because I became someone different entirely all of a sudden, but because I finally started becoming who I was created to be by coming home to the garden, to the place deep within all of us as women where the story of our deep rooted beliefs started. I've been carrying this dream for a while now of creating a space where other women can experience the same remembering as coming home, a place where beauty and desire is honored, where nature is our teacher, where women gather in meaningful community to rewrite these stories and beliefs and to feel our power together. We nourish our minds and our bodies and our souls, and we reconnect with our feminine design, who we were created to be, and where we remember the truth of who we really, really are, and that power, that who we are. That dream has become what I'm calling the garden. And the garden is essentially going to be an ecosystem for women who desire a more beautiful, connected, and nourishing way of living, a place to reconnect with themselves, with their source and nature, and a place to cultivate beauty and a fulfilling life, a place to embrace the gifts of our feminine nature, a place to be inspired by the wisdoms of the season, and a place to gather with women walking a similar path, a place to remember that you are already loved and you are already chosen and you are already worthy, my darling, a place to come home. Today, I'm opening the waitlist for the garden. And if something in your heart is stirring as you listen to me say this, I would love to invite you to join us. The waitlist is provided in the link in my bio and my stories, and I'll post it down below too. Hope to see you in the garden, lovely.